Good evening, fam, and happy Saturday. Our latest will be about former President Jacob Zuma. He was in Pretoria earlier today. Let's follow up on that. Zuma is continuing to surprise many people. He is doing things that many people thought he is incapable of doing. Today, he met with African leaders in Pretoria, and by the look of these images, the meeting went well. On Twitter, people said it means these white people are feeling this economic pressure and they need a change. In the next slide, check how everything unfolded during this meeting and let us know of your take regarding this. And that's all we have for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you again in the next update. Bye.
I don't know how I'm supposed to call you to the podium and to say a few words, but very welcome not only to you, to your entourage, to everybody that came, that support you and that are around you. We are honored to have you here. Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President Zuma, it is such a pleasure to meet you again and to see you from my personal side. It's an honor for all of us that you are here today, and we are humbled by this occasion and also the time that you are sacrificing to be here. I just want to tell everybody, and I was at Nkandla the first time that Louis Liebenberg came to see you, Mr. President, and you said one sentence which has remained with me in my heart, and you told, I'm just going to call it Louis because you are friends, Mr. President, you told Louis, never forget where you came from. And those words are still remain with me. And that is why I want to share it with everybody that is present. Mr. President, they are mostly Afrikaans speaking. Dit wat ek nou aan julle vertel, ek was self daar en dit was die president se woorde. En ek het die president ervaar as 'n menspersoon. Iemand wat kyk na die hart van die individu. Nie 'n koue politikus. Now, Mr. President, if I can say, I experienced you as a person of the people, a person that looks at the individual, not a cold politician. Because I am sure, Mr. President, you will agree that politics can be a very cold place with very cold people around you. So we are really honored, Mr. President, and if I may, normally I would ask to approach the bench or approach.
Kafar, waar is your turkey? What? I said, sorry sir, I don't understand Afrikaans. Ek vra, waar is your turkey, And I looked at myself, I was wearing a trousers which was a silver grey. I said, why is he thinking I'm wearing a khaki trousers? And I said, no, I don't understand. I said, hey, ons vra waar is ook daar, and I said, sorry sir. So I thought I should speak in Zulu. I said, Angisazi is bull. Was I beaten up by a group? And I said, what is this? And he went back and posed the question for the second time. Governor, where is your car key? I looked around, I said, man, I was thinking, what have I done? Why? I mean, literally, Karki, I did not understand. So, finally, I was thinking, I was wearing an overcoat. There is something in my pocket which I was given at the reception. It was a card. So I took it out. As I took it out, he said, Moi, come for Moi. This is a thing. I've never forgotten that Afrikaans word because it was an experience. But that is even better. I was alone in the cell. I was alone. So what is it? Then I was taken later to another cell to meet the other fellows sitting there. And then we make noise. I talk. And with the word that was very sharp to say, no noise, please, no noise. And finally, one day, because we were in a cell, a long cell, we were making noise. Whenever we hear the keys, we keep quiet. You wouldn't know which cell was making the noise. And finally, he had a plan. I had given him a name called Gandagana, the tractor, because he walked like this. And he pretended he was locking the doors, and he was not. He was just pushing the doors. So we were making noise. In the cell, there was only one person who knew Afrikaans. All of us did not know. One fellow came from Cape Town. I wondered why he does not know Afrikaans. His name was Russell Mbani. And the water was moving slowly. And he got to our door. And he opened slowly. And as he opened, we all jumped. He said, "Ja, wie mag raciso, huh? Wie mag raciso?" And this friend of ours, as we were standing, he said, "Yes, sir, I am Russell, sir." and the water said, "Fra, wie mag raciso?" Says, "My name, sir, is Russell." "Yes, sir." And he realized this fellow does not understand. And he fought back. He said, money virasne. And then as he closed the door, the fellow who knew Afrikaans just fell down with laughter. He nearly died. We said, "Why?" He says, "Man, the water is asking who is making noise. You are saying, I am noise." So don't worry if I speak I can't even say a word in African, that if you arrest, you don't kill. We're the only one. That is why when we came back, we were, of all the liberation movements, they came back with no, what we call them, bimbis. We came back with them, which indicate how we were looking at the future, particularly under the leadership of Tambo. Tambo signed the Red Cross agreement that in the war, people will die, but if you arrest, you will not kill. And that is a policy we adopted. In fact, I can just tell you an interesting story. When we were here, Mandela asked the president of Zimbabwe, Mugabe, because he was saying, "Man, what do we do? What did you do with your informers?" Mugabe said, "Informers? No." I mean, after freedom, he said, "No, there were no informers. Why we were to do what we were going to do with them?" He says, "No, but didn't you arrest some of the guys who were sent by the enemy?" He says, "Oh, and then?" He says, "Yes, we did." So what did you do with them? He said, no, by the time we came back, was there not a single one alive. So we had no problem how to handle them after freedom. We're the only ones who did so. That tells you the policies that we followed, that even other political, in relation, freedom fighters did not do. And I think that's the reason why perhaps I was chosen to come to start talks about talks and to bring South Africa where it was supposed to be. No killing. And that
there are a lot of Afrikaner people around you, and there's also a lot of them watching us from the whole country. Right. Now, one of the questions is, I know the answer, but are you ever going to give an order saying, kill them all? Because there's Afrikaners believing that they are going to be exterminated, and one single order from your side will do the trick. My easy response, and Mr. President, you confirmed it today, and I think for everybody that's here, they get to meet the real President Jacob Zuma. I'm not going to try to pronounce your middle name sentence, Mr. President, but I think, and this is the person that we met when I was with Louis, and you took us into your home, and you gave everybody a bit of yourself today. But my answer would be, because you told us that day, your whole life you've been a freedom fighter. You've been fighting for people, you've been fighting for people's lives. So why on this earth would you now suddenly turn around and give orders to kill or harm people? And also, in other words, you would betray who you are. The other point from me as a lawyer is, of course, maybe if that were so, I'm sorry, Mr. President, is then, if that was so, you wouldn't have had the problem with the current president no more. So it would have been easy for you to resolve that problem. So, Mr. President, then what they also do, some of them,
even now, I feel that if we don't correct some of the things, it might lead to people saying, well, maybe let us fight again. That's why I'm saying we need to sit and talk and make our South Africa our country. I will never kill anyone. There will never be such episodes, which were there within blacks and blacks, white and whites, black and whites. We have passed that stage. We are at the stage where we can sit and talk and conclude our discussions and our agreements. So no one should fear me. Absolutely, I'm just a simple guy from Ghana, very simple. I grew up with the sticks fighting. So I know how to fight. But I believe you have no right to kill another person. It's not your person. That is why discussion, getting into agreement, is what we need to do for our country. Whoever will kill somebody else, he will see me. He will see me what type of a person I am. Because we have got no right to kill another human being when you don't want to be killed. You have a right to bring people together to discuss their problems and find solutions. I often say, in the olden days, we had no death sentence. Even Shaka, the most famous fellow, In our culture, only one person was killed at the right, and you did not even have to make the law, just deal with it. A wish. Mtagat. That's a person. If you are found doing witchcraft and killing people, we are killed there. You don't have to go to court. Absolutely. Because we didn't believe that killing another.
Remember, the Afrikaners are diverse. It's a wide spectrum, from the left to the far right, etc. They bring up the story of Piet Retief, and they say, be careful. Now that happened 180 years ago. I mean, we're now in 2024. And I'm of German descent. Imagine what they will be thinking if I come to power, what I will do. Because all of the stuff the Germans did. So, and I also know there's obviously two sides to the story of Piet Retief historically, which we should also take note of. But I think, and I know it may sound funny to put this to you, are you going to exterminate the Afrikaner people? Are you going to chase them into the sea? Or what is your intention with them, Mr. President?
Thanks God you said you are a German. Because the Germans, oh, what they did to those guys there who are doing something others. No, the point I want to make really is that there is history that we went through, everybody. Not just between black and white, black and black. The man I was talking about here, Shaka, created a nation out of very, very tough kind of stuff. And in South Africa as well, it is not just black and white, black and black in particular. They still have problems among themselves. I think what I was saying here is that we develop, all of us, from olden days to today. And we'll always be saying to ourselves, let us be together, let us unite. We are not going to kill anyone, not at all. You know, when there was an armed struggle.
If perhaps you can, we're going for lunch now, and maybe you can perform something for the cameras, Mr. President. Like, you are well known for a lot of songs and a lot of dance, but it is a request, Mr. President, if you are happy to, I will hand the microphone back to you.
Mr. President.
We are not singing. We are not singing. I will let
Announce you. And this whole thing about Sawubona, we had it at the church, and on the flight yesterday, the in-flight magazine was also called Sawubona, I see you. Today I see you, my president, as all of us do. So thank you very much for everything. Right, terug na die Afrikaans. So vir 'n wyle, vinnig 'n paar orderreëlings. Ons gaan nou vandag vir middagete. Ons het tee gemis, so julle is sekerlik rasend. Ek gaan vra dat ons eregaste en sprekers dat